Meghan Markle's Archetypes podcast wrapped up its first season last week. The first 12 episodes featured guests like Serena Williams, Mariah Carey, Paris Hilton, Mindy Kaling and Andy Cohen, as well as more. According to a blind item on Crazy Days and Nights, Meghan's podcast isn't being renewed. She can still keep doing it, but she needs to find a new sponsor. Lately, the Sussexes head of audio, Rebecca Sinanes, has left their Archwell brand after just 1 year, as she's keen to launch her own project. She was hired in July 2021 after working for Vox Media and New York Magazine's Pivot podcast. She joined Archwell in August 2021 and reported to head of content Ben Browning and was instrumental in getting Archetypes off the ground. The news comes days after Mandana Dayani, who ran Archwell for less than 18 months, stepped down from her role by mutual agreement. With it being reported, she will not be replaced. One insider told Page 6, "I think they'd be happy if their contracts with Netflix and Spotify went away, quite honestly. But the question is then, how else will they make money?" Meghan Markle's podcast has turned into a tedious game of woke bingo, packed with psychobabble in recent weeks, a Raw commentator has claimed. But Jonathan Sacerdoti is confident the release of the trailer of the Sussexes' new Netflix series will inject life into what he believes is currently a stuttering format. Speaking as he considered the likely reasons why the Prince and Princess of Wales had opted not to invite their in-laws to the Earthshot Prize Awards in Boston on Friday, which William presented, Mr. Sacerdoti said, "Because it would refocus things on the soap opera and the family psychodrama, and frankly, I think we've heard enough psychodrama on Spotify for the last number of weeks." It became like a sort of woke bingo listening to Meghan. I actually made a bingo card at one point that I put on Twitter. I did it as a joke, but I put Gloria Steinem's birthday on it, and literally it got mentioned every week. We now understand that Meghan is friends with Gloria Steinem. He added, "The Spotify show was scraping the bottom of a very, very empty barrel." Meghan Markle's podcast had a relatively unsuccessful performance during its short run, and it's possible that the episodes failed to attract listeners because it was dull, just like how Raw biographer Angela Levin described it. Levin also said that Markle just presented herself as a victim in all the episodes of Archetypes, and this didn't work in her favour. Meghan seems to want to put everything about her in each of the podcasts, so it's actually quite dull if you've listened to several of them as I have. You hear the same thing, that she's a victim, she's a victim. She's a victim for so many different reasons. It's the same thing about Meghan's truth, which isn't necessarily the truth. Meghan needs to learn the difference between an archetype and a stereotype. She only uses the word because it keeps with the Archie theme. The final episode of Archetypes featured 3 male guests, namely Judd Apatow, Trevor Noah, and Andy Cohen. This final episode was about settling scores with the Hollywood men that rejected her. The man episode shows Markle as a real man-hater. She doesn't care about men. She's a real succubus, or even better, a siren, whose voice has been drowned out by her sisters.